Dr. Cara Berg Powers. Thank you, committee members. I am here to testify in support of Senate Bill 1732 and House Bill 2236, an act to provide fair working conditions for public higher education adjunct faculty. I have been an adjunct faculty member in the state system for about 10 years, the last 4 in the sociology department at Worcester State University. As Senator Jalen said, the reliance on adjunct faculty is a trend across the country throughout higher education, and it is troubling for a number of reasons. The lack of employment stability is destabilizing not just for faculty in our lives, but for students, including that with no office, there's no office hours, and no additional time paid for preparation, supporting students who in universities like Worcester State are disproportionately first-generation college students like myself, many who are juggling full-time work and other caretaking responsibilities. Contingent faculty making up such a large portion of our overall faculty is also destabilizing for the fabric of our university system. It makes it difficult to have functional faculty committees and strategic planning work. Important DEI initiatives and other critical areas of growth are understaffed and undersupported. And the drastic pay disparities and benefit disparities between adjuncts and full-time tenure-track faculty deeply incentivizes universities bringing on more folks like me into departments at only $12,000 per semester, instead of hiring me as a full-time faculty for the same workload. I only make $12,000 for 2 classes that only I teach, and even less when I teach them as an evening or a weekend course, like I am this semester to high school students in our early college program, which is much more disruptive to my life and a lot more work. While we cannot solve the crisis in higher ed here today, or even with the passage of just these bills, I think it makes important strides. Many people think of adjunct faculty as professionals or retirees who teach a class in their specialty and bring an important sector-based perspective. That's rarely what it looks like in our universities now. I have a doctorate, and as I said, teach 2 classes in the sociology department at Worcester State. I created the syllabi for these classes, and one I created from scratch and had put into our course catalog. This is not what people think of when they think of adjunct faculty. This semester, my classes are not running because of under-enrollment for the first time ever, because the university ignored that our students said they were not ready to come back in person. For the spring, I can't plan ahead because I don't know whether or not my courses will run. That's $12,000 in income and my schedule that I have no idea whether or not to count on. And for my students who depend on my classes towards their major, have no idea if they'll have to take a summer class or intersession course to make up the loss for graduation. Lastly, despite teaching in a university system for a decade, having recently left the nonprofit sector and entered higher ed full-time, my years of teaching are not seen as the same or even comparable light to full-time faculty. I'm starting at 0. There's little to no pathway from adjunct to tenure track, as others have testified. These bills will mean that universities need to keep these things in mind when balancing their teaching loads, reducing the ability to exploit adjuncts and stabilizing not just the lives of educators like myself, but our whole campuses, and most importantly, our students. Thank you.